Hello, welcome to this trading forecast. Going to start off with EURUSD this week, and I'm just going to cover the instruments that appeal to me most. I'm not going to cover a whole lot, just going to cover a few dollar pairs, a few CAD pairs, and not keep you so long. So we'll start off with EURUSD daily chart, and we'll break it down, put the levels on as we go. So I am bearish this instrument. We've had this quite a bearish run on this instrument, and I remain bearish. We've had this pullback last week, which was kind of tricky to trade through, but just looking at most recent support and resistance on the daily, this candle high. Why am I picking that candle high? Well, quite clearly resistance. We traded away from there, and now you can see it acting as support. So that would be a key level for me. If we're going to break down, I would need to break down below that. Also would like to put on this candle. You can see we're stuck between two levels. So let's go down into 2-hour time frame. Take a look at structure on the lower time frames. We can add a little bit of confluence. Take this low. So we have support, 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 support. If we're bearish, we want to see a break of structure. We're having this pullback structure. If we can, even if we come up and raid this one more time. So if we come up, raid, break back below, resistance over here, support over here. And this is a key area where I'd be looking for selling opportunities to continue with the trend on the higher time frames and just get back and swing with the market. So yeah, looking for selling opportunities at the moment. That's the structure that I'm going with. Obviously, as price develops, there'll be more structure unfolding, and we'll just have to go with the flow. But at the moment, at the start of the week, I'm looking for selling opportunities on EURUSD, and that's the structure that I'm looking at. This pullback structure. And then those daily highs. So we have resistance here and support here. We're still in, obviously, upswing, but if we fail to make a higher high, break down, then we can look for selling opportunities. And it's very similar on pound. If we go, what levels stand off? Well, we'll just go in and look at most recent support and resistance. This candle's high. You see it lines up with this candle's low as well. We'll also put this candle's low. And why that? Well, if you look at the touches, support, 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 support. So that is a key level holding up this market. So let's go down into the 2-hour time frame, look at structure on the lower time frames. Similar to EURUSD, we can add in this trend line and look for a break below that as confluence with our trades. We have come up, taken this high, and now we've just traded into the end of the week. So I would like a break below, retest of that level. This would act as a resistance here. If we scroll back to the chart, you can see we have support over here, resistance here. If we're bearish, break of structure, break back below, and then looking for selling opportunities on pound. So quite simple really, just going with the flow of the market, looking at higher time frame support and resistance and lower time frame structure just to get in, just to get involved. So another instrument I like to look of is Aussie. On the daily chart here, what stands out to me is this low. It's been acting as support here, resistance and resistance. What else stands out to me is, well, if we look at these this candle here, resistance, resistance, support. If we draw that across, could also take in this low, so we have an area of support, resistance, resistance, and support. So if we go down into the lower time frames, 2-hour chart, similar to EURUSD and pound. USD, I'm looking at the structure pullback, and that would probably be the first clue if we can get a push down below. what's holding up this market, then retest support here, support here. This is an area where I would be looking for selling opportunities in Aussie dollar, come down and take out these lows. If we come up, take out these highs, even better. Nice rejection, get back below, and then start looking for opportunities. But bias is bearish in Aussie dollar, and to be honest, those are the three instruments I like the look of the most. And we do have interest rate decision out in Kiwi, so I'm going to leave that and maybe update you after that decision has come out, because I don't think there'll be much point in trading that before the news. We'll finish off with EURCAD and GBPCAD. Those are two more instruments I like the look of. And we'll start off with GBPCAD. Go to the daily. I'm bearish this instrument. We have been on this very big bearish run. These lows look very suspect, and that's what I will be targeting, so we can put that on just as a target. Most recent support and resistance. So what's holding up this market, what's holding it down? So we'll take a look at, I would put in these candles high and low, or candles open and close, sorry. And then we had resistance, failure to close above it. We did close above it, so if we can get back below there, that's what I'm interested in. I'll also keep an eye on, let's get that in. This candles open and candles close. Resistance, 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 and resistance. So we're looking for a break below to sell, come down and take these lows. Obviously this is what I'm looking to happen. I'm not assertive of what will happen. If it does happen, then I'll be on hand to trade. I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen. This is just what I would like to see to get involved with the market. So let's take a look at structure and lower time frames. What's holding up this market? Well, I've had this low, support, support. This is came up, push, take out these stops. So we do have resistance here, possible resistance. So if we can come up, get back below, break structure, anywhere in and around here is where I will be looking to open up some trades to the downside and come down and take these lows. Now if that is the case, I will post into the Discord group with the trade, any trade that I do take. Let's take a look at EURCAD, similar setup. Daily time frame. So what's holding up this market? And I'm just looking at most recent support and resistance. If we look at this, candles open and close, so we have close here, open here, resistance, resistance, and then we pinged off it as support on the daily time frame. So that's key to me. If we can get back below there, then we can go down into the lower time frames and start looking at possible entries on EURCAD. So let's just add a little bit of structure on the lower time frames. Support, support, support. Come up. You can see the structure of the market is bullish in the lower time frames, and we'll just have to wait for that change, that shift to get involved. Say this high. If we fail to make a higher high, break structure, then get below this support, retest to that level, then we can look for some selling opportunities in EURCAD. Or if we come up, raid and reject quickly, get below here, and then get back below that daily support, should turn to resistance, and then we can look for trading opportunities. So that's my bias, that's the instruments I'm looking at, breaking it down from the daily time frame down to 2 hour. Obviously price action dictates what we're going to do. It's quite hard to predict what is going to happen throughout the week, but you can go in with a plan, and if price action follows a plan, then you can execute. But as always, I'll go with what the market's telling me and see if I want to get involved or not. Regarding Bitcoin, I said it's just a period of consolidation, and you can see that there's no point in touching this until we do get a breakout. Either way, you can look at these lows if you want. Support here, support here, support here. If we get a break and retest, then maybe we could look to sell again, but at the moment my hands are firmly off this market until we do get a breakout. There's no point in getting involved with all this mess. You'll only end up giving yourself a headache. So that's the forecast and the instruments I'm most keen on looking at. I will add some instruments to the watch list as we go on, as things change. And I'm wishing you a profitable week, and any questions, don't be afraid to reach out.